Hey everybody, welcome back to Ready Steady Play, where we've just finished doing Flick of Faith, and now we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
Flick of Faith, final thoughts. So if you guys are unfamiliar, this is a 2 to 4 player, 30 to 60 minute dexterity game from Awakened Realms Light. And this is going to be an Essen 2019 release, so depending on when in the future you're watching this, you will have
acquired it from Essen, or
the ability to purchase it in a retail store. Yeah, so the game is retailing at about $35 American dollars, or about 28 British pounds, although that's likely to change.
at current rate.
No political talks. So it's not too dear. I mean, it's reasonably cheap.
I would pay £28 for this.
Yeah, I would definitely pay £28.
I would recommend other people buy it for £28.
Well, it's so the question is, where does this fit into the world of flicking games? Because what's really interesting is a lot of the dexterity games I have are actually, a lot of them are cooperative, and the ones that aren't cooperative are actually almost like a lot more involved. Like the ones that I have that are directly adversarial are Flick 'em Up. And I don't actually have Catacombs, but I'm thinking of it. And Catacombs is one versus many. And then Flick 'em Up is free for all.
Yeah.
But then Flick 'em Up is like, if you haven't seen it, it's so involved with buildings, and you're actually flicking bullets. And then if you want to move, you've got these little it's a Wild West.
Yeah.
And you take the cowboys off and you put the disc down and flick that, and then put them back, and you can go in and out of buildings. And it's got scenarios and hit point trackers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas this is obviously directly adversarial, but it's almost very basic.
Oh, yes.
It's like what you're doing is essentially
100%.
You're just trying to flick onto these islands, or ideally into the cities if you can. The naval's quite a nice bonus, although we kind of forgot about it, but
It didn't lend itself to us looking at it. I think maybe some more of the mission cards might allow you to focus on it more.
Potentially, yeah. But what's nice about this is that it's small and it's quick.
It is super quick and super easy to pack up, like take out and pack up.
Yeah. So and actually, I think if you did away with the game box, you could actually fit it into a very small space.
Yeah.
Because it's so fast, and it's like turn. It's got that sort of like jovial, like, sort of like you get these vendettas coming out, like, you knocked me off the island and you hit me on the thing.
Vendetta, us.
Well, I quite like that it's sort of it's like, it's so bizarre. I've never played a territory control flicking game, so if you know of any others, leave a comment down below. But it's so Awakened Realms, isn't it, to take this like sort of
concept,
like sort of war game concept, and then just it's actually not so Awakened Realms. What I mean is that if they were to do a dexterity game, which they have done, this is exactly what I would have expected them to do.
Exactly.
Right? And that's really fun. More things I like include this deck of Code of Law cards. I really like how it changes the game every round, and it's a bit random, and there's voting. That's fun.
Yeah, exactly. I like how there's lots of variety in them. Like some last the whole game, some last just that certain round, and there's a whole variety of different dexterity parts to each element.
Yes, I like that. These could have been terrible, but actually they're good.
They actually add value.
Yeah, they could have broken it or made it feel unfair or just been sort of somewhat lackluster, but the vast majority of them are quirky and fun and interesting.
They're quirky,
There's
fun,
a few of them that are just
trolley.
like, increase the points for this thing or whatever. And
yeah, but you've still got to then have the skill or luck to get those.
But I like the ones that sort of pit you against each other, like whoever has the most profits in the sea, right?
Yeah.
And so then suddenly you're actually trying to flick people out of the sea and off the board or whatever. That's fun.
Or I like the one where I like the silly ones, like closing your eyes.
Or that you have to flick them on their side.
Yeah. Because then that just makes it totally random and funny. And you can't like...
Damn it! You fell the wrong way.
You drown.
I control the sea.
Alright, Poseidon.
I'm not Poseidon, I'm Tyr. But that and that sort of these are really fun.
Yes, but I was just going to say that some of them are incredibly trolley. That tornado.
Yeah, but I think, the thing is you get I think we've seen that these temples are not unmovable. And
correct, but they're a lot they're not as movable as you think they are.
Damn it! I'm just really bad at this.
See, why couldn't you have been this rubbish in the playthrough?
There you go. See, it's just about, you just got to put a bit of power into it. It's all about sort of like
but
skill.
We'll be picking it up from the street over again if you're not careful. Maybe use the hand.
But you can. I like that they give you this sort of scope as well to pick where you deploy, so that you can kind of get around.
I like this. I like it's how it's very wide.
Yeah. And it could, and what it does is it creates this sort of sense of proximity that sort of makes it competitive and fun, right?
Yeah,
like
totally.
if it was too unachievable, then you wouldn't get the fun of sort of like trying to hit your friends and knock them off and knock them around.
I think it would be even funnier with 4.
I think it'd be great.
It'd be absolutely carnage.
Yeah.
And hilarious.
That would be hilarious, yeah. And, leading on as well, like, I like these player powers. I like the different player powers.
I'd like to see what the other 2 did.
So I think the game does have this sort of like replayability because of those cards and because of these player powers. Mm-hmm. Without those, it might feel much more skill-based.
Yeah.
Or much more directly skill-based, which might put off like some new players. Necessarily.
What might put them off, sorry?
If it didn't have these. And
yes.
then it would be a lot more confrontational and directly skill-based.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. I'll agree with that.
Whereas these sort of quirky extra things kind of make it feel like it's sort of it's got that extra element.
It makes it puts the fun element in it, and I think that's the fun element is what makes it accessible for everybody. Mm-hmm. Because no one's going to play this and have a bad time. I don't think. Unless you're being trolled and you're like really moody about losing.
But we don't.
No one would ever do that, would they?
But the other thing is that the components are all really nice for this price point.
I love these wooden tokens.
I mean, you do have to do all the stickering yourself, but
people that love stickering.
But some people love stickering, and they exist, and that might not be a problem for you. But there's not also that many of them.
There is.
The other thing is
What did you take me the other day?
Oh, not that long.
15 minutes?
But, the cardboard's also nice quality. It's got this sort of, like, sandpaper finish.
Again, with these as well.
And this edge stitching. I always go crazy for this edge stitching on the mats. I don't know.
Such a nerd.
I'm such a nerd. But it's just, it makes it so much sort of more... It makes it so much more appealing than just the ragged edges.
Yeah.
And so I really only have one complaint.
It doesn't last long enough?
No. Do you know what my complaint is? I'm sure you can get my complaint.
Oh no. Testing.
For a game that's so much light, simple fun.
The rulebook
is a bloody joke. The rulebook is...
I did get it.
Yeah, you did, yeah. No, I mean, for a start, okay, I'm not going to lay into the rulebook too much because, to be honest, like, I made a 13-minute video. That'll see you through. There's also a video up on Awaken Realms website. There'll probably be more coming.
The rulebook was incredibly complex for something so simple.
It took us, it's just the sort of the way it's laid out. And the way it sort of lays out the concepts of what you're trying to do in the game. It's just funny that you've got a game this light that comes with a player aid with important game terms on. Batman Gotham City Chronicles doesn't have a player aid. And this has 2. And I'm like, what? But, they also they missed a little small but really important rule out of the rulebook, which fortunately we've been able to make this series and fix that problem forever. But that will be in all the copies going out. So... aside from that, no complaints.
None, really. It's like,
It's a good game, it's a fun game, at a reasonable price point.
Ticks all the boxes, really.
Yeah, can't complain. I had a blast playing this, and I think I will continue to do so.
Correct. And as I say, it's silly fun. And what's not to like about silly fun, really?
In a 3-player game, you'll need 7 profits. But in a 2 or 4-player game, you'll only ever need a maximum of 6, which means that if you do lose a profit, it's not the end of the world.
You just have to create your own. Just get some wood tokens. But yeah, I would open this again and play it again in a heartbeat. And as I say, I'd like to play it with more people. Yeah,
I would love to play this with more people. Maybe not down the pub, because you'll never see those profits.
You will never get those ever. These are gone.
Yeah, those will be gone down in the pub. No, not the temples. The temples will be alright.
No, even these will be gone.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think the profits will be gone.
Oh. Well, maybe they'll be gone when someone does a table flip. It's like, this game is rubbish.
I hate this.
But yeah, these are gone. These might disappear as well.
So there you go. If you want to play Territory Control from Awakened Realms, but you don't have time for Lords of Hellas, Fleck of Faith.
Yes, go buy it.
That's a sterling recommendation. Michael very rarely says that.
If my word means anything, probably not. Then yeah, do it.
Yeah, if he's really willing to play it again with me, then you know it's a good one. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you tomorrow for something else.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.